That's aside from just whispering and no filters, no edits, nothing, just pure and basic whispering and nothing else. So let's begin, shall we? I did not make a video yesterday. I didn't do any recording yesterday because I had Christmas decorations to put up. I find usually at Christmas time I only really put decorations up for my little nieces and nephews. And I remember being a kid and fighting almost to help my parents put the Christmas decorations up, and now I'm like, I'm not really bothered about it, to be honest. But I do it. It's also, I find it cute. My cat, whenever the Christmas tree goes up, she decides that her favorite place to sit is right under the Christmas tree. It's so cute because she is basically the greatest gift ever. So why not put her under the Christmas tree? She also decides that playing with the baubles is a good game, and she should definitely push them off the branches and leave them on the floor and act innocent, like she had nothing to do with it at all. Sometimes she tries to incriminate my dog, and that never works because I know she's the guilty one. She gets away with it because she is very, very cute. So I was doing some Christmas decorations, and I have a village that I am having a lot of fun fixing up and doing some crafts and creativity with. So that'll take me probably a little bit, about a week maybe, to actually get all fully done and finished. But I'm kind of looking forward to that. That is going to be fun. It's been fun so far. And they have all these little houses and these little, like a church and stores and the coffee stands and hot chocolate stands and choirs, and it's really sweet and very pretty. And I've been waiting for about a week now for a contract, and it is nowhere in sight. So I spent a little bit scrolling through my emails to make sure that I didn't miss it, or going into my junk mail to make sure that it didn't go in there. They just haven't sent it. I'd like to get started on the job, but I can't until I get the contract. Hey ho. And of course, aside from working, this is essentially what I've been doing. Just I watched last night on YouTube 1.5 hours of a guy in a supermarket in New York shopping. I genuinely did that. I find that YouTube is strange. On YouTube you watch things that you would probably never normally watch on, like, TV. Like, I would never have watched somebody just going around a supermarket and shopping live. Like, I would never have watched that. I remember when I was kind of TV shows that I hated, and like documentaries about, I don't know, a person's business or a holiday show, those kind of things, and it just reminds me of that a little bit. Like I hated having to sit through those TV shows. I hated it. But I willingly watched that. It's really strange. Like, why? Like, for instance, another instance of something that I watched that I would never normally watch. I found a new ASMR channel, and I was watching it, and he was like pulling out these collections of like Pokemon cards and figures and Funko Pops and stuff, and that's not really my thing. I'm not really interested in that stuff, but I watched it. I watched all of it. I don't know why it is like that. Maybe it isn't like that for everyone, but I do feel like YouTube kind of opens you up. Maybe it's because things tend to be shorter than TV sometimes. I mean, I've seen documentaries that are like 3 hours long. It has taken me a couple of days to actually watch them all, but still fun at the end of the day. And more increasingly, I discover and realize that actually there's not a lot of good stuff on TV, on the networks, and it's just reality TV and soaps essentially, because it's basically cheap to make and people watch them in droves. So, I mean, YouTube, it does seem to be more interesting to me now. It attracts a far greater pool of people, I think. And I mean, there's many genres. I mean, there's about like 50,000 genres of ASMR alone. And some comedians, vloggers. It's an interesting sports channels. So if you want to watch about your favorite football team or whatever, it's all there. It's interesting. Speaking about ASMR genres, there is one genre that I can never quite understand, and it's that ASMR genre, the roleplay, but specifically the ones where the listener gets kidnapped by some crazed stalker, and I don't know why anyone is listening to that to relax. I don't know, I can't quite understand it. Sometimes they're very well written though, so I can understand why you'd be immersed in the storyline. But I don't think I've ever listened to one of those ASMR videos and actually felt relaxed. There was one series that I was listening to, and I found it by accident. It just appeared on my live stream one night, and I just watched it. It was a really weird one, I must say. It was this woman somehow kidnaps I don't know, victim, let's call her a victim, and then just ties her, drugs her, never lets her leave the room practically for months gets somehow twisted in the end into, oh, but it's okay because the victim is in love with her kidnapper. And I don't know if I can take that seriously. It sounds very much like Stockholm Syndrome to me. I mean, and at the very end, you know, it's really, they try to, I guess, redeem the kidnapper to make it okay. In that, you know, if her victim wanted to leave, then she would let her, despite the fact that for months she's tied her up and drugged her and all sorts. And it has this moment where she's supposed to be vulnerable, but right at the end, she tells her that her family, her friends, never once tried to come looking for her, and I think that's just, why would you say that? You just like kicked her in the teeth or something. Like, what are you doing? It was a weird one. It's a genre that is interesting. But you know, that isn't not the interesting thing about ASMR. If you think about it, it started in a really small, and suddenly we're at a point where there are so many genres of ASMR, and so many different channels that do different things. It's really interesting, and you always find something new. Like, it's not impossible to just find a new channel that is doing something that you haven't seen anybody else do. And there are some ASMR artists that do some really amazing role plays. These scripts are always really well written, and it's well acted, and it's just always really amazing. And I always get confused between, am I supposed to be into this and entertained like it's a movie, like a scene from a movie, or am I supposed to relax? Because I'm not really worried about being relaxed, but it is very entertaining. That's what I always feel when I watch an Isabel imagination roleplay. Like, I'm not relaxed, but I'm very interested in the scene. It's very entertaining and I like it. And there always has been, I think, this debate about ASMR and sexual content. And I don't think I have the same opinion as a lot of people, or a lot of people that I have seen. For me, I think with anything else, there was always going to be sexual content in ASMR because there's a market for it. And whenever there's a market for it, there will be a person or people who will come and make content that suits that market. Is there anything wrong with it? I don't know. I mean, for me, no. That's my opinion, and I know that a lot of people disagree. I know that a lot of people disagree about it. And I know that YouTube isn't exactly a good platform for that kind of content, and that's why creators have Patreon and OnlyFans, etc. You know. So if that market wants to support that, then at least there's a place where they can do that. That's good. But there's always gonna be, and you know, you may think that innocent little things, like say whispering for instance, is an innocent thing. I'm doing it right now. I don't mean anything weird by it, I'm just whispering. But there are some people who, for them, whispering does send tingles to a different part of the body. And that's true. Now, you've seen ASMR where people use their hands. Well, for some people, someone going around reaction channels asking to read this kid book, and it was like their kink. They would get female creators to read this story, and it was the same story. I forget what it was, but that was their kink. Weird and creepy, yes, but it just goes to show you that everybody has, and sometimes it's something that you would never think of because it's so innocent. I mean, who would think that just a woman sitting on camera, dressed modestly, whispering, reading a story, a child's story, would be a kink for someone? But it was. Okay, I have whispered for way too long today. I did a poll which asked, how long is your ideal length for an ASMR video? And the resounding winner was 12 minutes to 20 minutes, so every single one of my videos now, from now on, will be between 12 and 20 minutes long. I don't know how this works out because I see the retention rates on the videos, but hey, it is what it